This moment in education seems like a giant chasm, and trying to bring us together is so challenging because I feel like the distance has gotten so giant.
Well, during the pandemic, it was like teachers are our heroes, and teachers are great, and thank goodness for teachers. And after the pandemic, they're like, teachers are the worst, and they're not helping our kids, and we're kind of being blamed for what's going on, and teachers are leaving, the profession left and right because they don't feel heard and they don't feel supported.
In some places, people are embracing their schools, embracing their kids. In other places, they're at war with their schools over books and over the sexuality of kids, particularly kids who are non-gender binary.
For example, some board meetings that I've recently attended, I hear parents and caregivers get onto the mic during open comment and make horrible comments about the school's efforts on LGBTQ inclusion or on race equity work. And in the audience, they're children listening.
We've lost giving grace for each other. And it's continuing, it's escalating, it's not stopping in spite of our children. And that's concerning because our kids need to see us model how to adult and how to actively problem solve in a kind, humane way for the love of our community and our schools and all of it. That's all I have to say on that.
The most difficult pieces about education in America right now are people are tired, and parents are tired, and youth are tired, and educators are tired. It's been a difficult few years.
My daughter she's happy in her school, but sometimes it's hard for me to make homework with her because I don't have time, because I'm working hard every day. And when I come back, I'm so tired. It's hard.
The parents in a post-pandemic world are both energized and depressed and everything in between because they've seen where the fault lines are, up close and personal.
I think parents are afraid right now, and not all parents are gonna think the same. Not all parents are gonna have the same morals, values, judgment, culture, history, and we've got to listen to all those different factors and somehow figure out how to find harmony in all of that, where there isn't a group of parents feeling they're being left out right now. Because when a parent feels left out, they're gonna feel fear.
Kind of saddens me a little bit about sending my kids to school is you're not there to help them advocate for themselves, right? You don't find out stuff until the end of the day or a couple of days later. So communication lacks, and it's understandable because your child is one of 30 kids in a classroom. So it's expected that the teacher cannot just communicate with you all the time about your child. And when you have kids who have special needs, you need to know stuff in the now, not in the later, because you have to address it in the now to be able to help them solve whatever the problem is.
The rules of engagement feel very archaic, very much a PTA that fundraises, and then that gets out of the way. But how are you doing? The space to connect teachers and for teachers to be brave enough to say, I'm not doing so well, actually. Today, the class was absolutely horrid. We all have off days, myself included, so why shouldn't educators be allowed to have their off days?
Teachers are experiencing a lot of conflict, internal conflict. Like, doctors take a Hippocratic oath. Well, we do that in education. It's just our own passion for ensuring that the children grow and learn and they're loved and protected and all of those things. But we feel torn because whether it feels like a lack of resources, a lack of support, the challenges in the community.
I feel welcome in the school where they have a people who speak my language. I remember it was awful for me because I'm feeling frustrated. I trying my best to speak English, but they say, I don't understand you. Your English, I'm sorry, I can't help you. But they don't offer to me anything to help me, to translate.
There's a language barrier between me and a lot of my students. I remember talking to the school before they hired me, being very, very clear, like, I don't speak Spanish. And they were like, it's fine. I was like, okay, great, it's fine. And it wasn't fine for a really long time. It's been really tough because I see how smart they are when they turn stuff in Spanish, which I'm technically not allowed to do. And then I'll run it through Google Translate back to English, and they get it. Like, they fully understand it. And it's just this one thing, this like one little hump that they need to get over, which is learning an entire language. And I don't know how to, there's nothing I can do.
We haven't figured it out. We haven't figured out how do we bring a teacher and their voice be big, because they have the lived experience in the classroom. They're seeing it with the policymakers who are so far removed and not talking to the people who are most connected. And, of course, that's the parents. And for me, I even like to include, when they're old enough, the student.
For the future, I'm worried about chaos, I guess, because right now, a lot of parents aren't teaching kids to care about other people and to be nice to other people. So I think that those kids are going to teach that to their kids. They're not really going to teach their kids to care and stuff like that. So I think in the future, almost everybody in the world isn't going to care.
Since I can remember, I've struggled with food, and it just got really bad in 2020 because of the pandemic, and I became really depressed. I feel like a lot of my teachers, they saw that I was struggling, and they just let things go. It was a pretty terrible time for me and my parents as well, because obviously when their kid is struggling, they are also gonna have some things that they have to deal with on their part as well.
A mom or a dad is only going to be as healthy as their healthiest child. Like, if a kid is suffering, it's such a difficult time for everyone in that family. So creating agency for the family, for the community, it's so important. That's why we have campaigns around building mental health friendly school environments, mental health friendly communities.
Schools have to address mental health, and there's really creative and innovative ways to do so. And I really hope that we can work together to share best practices. One of the biggest mistakes I've seen for schools is the easiest answer, which makes total sense: hire a therapist. Therapists are amazing. But they cannot address the mental health of a school.
The reality is there's never going to be enough mental health practitioners to step in and provide enough one-on-one services. And kids live in communities, they live in families, and so we really need to be addressing this on a much larger scale. So across the classroom, across family systems, and not just this one child and this one counselor.
So often we talk about that each kid just needs one trusted adult and the power of that. But I don't think we talk enough about what it would mean if they had many trusted adults, right?
So when we think about the school community, it's not just the teachers out there. It's your custodians, your cafeteria workers, your paraprofessionals. Think about all of the different people that come each day to make the magic of school happen. So we've all got to do our part. We've all got to take a part in this. And that's why I take it back to the basics. Just ask people how their day is.
It is important that everyone is trained in foundational, embedded relational skills. And then it leaves a little room for us as human adults to have a bad day, to have a setback, to not be at our best.
Every teacher walks into a classroom with a different experience. And we have some teachers that walk in and that I could just sit there all day long and be in their classroom because they are just so inspiring. And I think I need to go back to some of those teachers and say, okay, what do you have that I don't have? because you definitely are bringing it in this class. And how do we give a little bit of what you have and spread it like pixie dust?
And I also think we would benefit from partnering with natural resources. Like if you're not making the connection, if the school is not a trusted place for whatever reason, and I know because of my background in working with the diverse ethnic and cultural communities, it's not always safe for some children. And so partner with the local faith community. Try and draw in partners. I know when my sons were in school, all I would have to say to one of the men in the church is ask him about his report card and tell him you want to see those grades improve. And they would do it for them sometimes more than they would do it for me, their mom.
We have to have a united front in front of the kids. It's kind of like when mom and dad have different parenting styles, the kids pick up on that, right? And they kind of use that to their advantage. Well, if parents and teachers and educators aren't together, kids are going to pick up on that too, and it's not going to be a great thing in the classroom. So it is really important that we come up with some norms moving forward. And if that's turning off the apps on your kid's phone, I think that would be a blessing. Any teacher listening to this is cheering for me, I promise you. You know, if you are willing, parents, to turn off your phone from the time school starts till the time school ends, those apps that are just sucking their attention away from their learning, that would be a huge step in the right direction.
Community building requires some agreements about how we're going to treat each other, how we're going to conduct ourselves. And that's so important for getting people to feel as though I can be comfortable here.
And we have to listen to each other to feel and hear what each other's needs so we can devise a plan that works for everybody. Because if we're only looking out for our own needs or only a child's need without looking at the whole picture, we're not going to be able to move forward at the rates that we need to move forward.
And I think grace for everyone to understand that even if things don't go right, that we are trying our best, and for everyone to know that it's okay, that it's all good and we can start over and we can do better, and for everyone to have grace, even admin, students to have grace, you know, and educators as well. And just for everyone to understand that we can be better and we can be better together. It's just gonna take some time, and that we got this.
It's best if we all remember we all have our own story. Let's just give each other the benefit of the doubt. Before we point fingers or get agitated, let's take a breather and talk to each other. Hey, something's going on. Let's figure it out. Maybe you're having a bad day. Maybe my kid had a bad day. Maybe I'm having a bad day. Before we get agitated, let's all just take a breath and think how we're going to come together, share our story, and figure out what our story is together.
We have to work together, like moms, school, and kids. Team. And we can change a lot of things if we work together. We need more love. We need more love and peace, jobs to be nice with others, no matter who are. We need to be nice, and we need to love people. Maybe we cannot change everything, but we can change around us if we love others. We need to love our kids. We need to love our families. We need to love our teachers because they're working hard with us too. And we need to be nice and share love. That's it.